Hi, my name's Brian Bard. I'm an author, artist, and spiritual director. And I want to invite you to a class I'm teaching coming up at Wisdom Way's Center for Spirituality. It's called Guide for the Grief Journey. And it's a two-part class meeting on Wednesday, November 1st and Wednesday, November 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. with options for both in-person and online. I first got the idea for this class in 2015 after my life at the time fell apart and my dad passed on suddenly. I knew from other experiences of loss and trauma, but now I really knew just how unequipped our culture is to talk about grief or guide people through it. Ever since, my mission has been to treat grief as a sacred process, to find the absolute essential practices, terminology, and tools that can assist all of us on the grief journey, and to help others feel less alone, more connected along the way. My hope is to work with you to build a better shelter for grief. Every one of us goes through grief in our lives, and there's a huge variety in what that can look like. This class will give you practical ways of working with grief, whatever and whoever you're grieving, wherever you are in your process. In addition, all of us will be supporting people we love through grief at some point too. So this class will also empower you with practices for accompanying others and being a supportive presence. What we're trying to do here is bring together a larger community of grievers and their supporters to clarify and get to the heart of what everyone needs to know about grief as a spiritual journey, to create that shelter together. So, maybe you're grieving someone you've lost, who's passed on. Maybe you're grieving the loss of an important relationship of some kind. Maybe you're grieving another difficult experience, childhood or adult trauma, a health or mental health struggle, aging or the end of a significant season in your life, or loss of anything that gives you meaning. And maybe you want to learn how to better support others going through these challenges. Whatever the case, this class is for you and will cut across many different categories. Personally, I've been through these different categories of grief and more. This class comes out of what I've learned through my story and those of people I've loved and worked with as individuals and groups over the years. We'll look at grief through a spiritual and artistic lens as a painful but significant part of the poetry of our lives. And we'll draw on the research and best practices that are crucial for everyone to know about. We'll go through 10 best practices, or touchstones, and focus on a few in depth during the 2 sessions of the class. In the first session, we'll discuss how to convene and participate in a grief sharing circle, where everyone's process is respected and treated as sacred. These circles are vital to creating a base of support for us to get to talk about what we're going through and truly be heard with compassion and care. Then, in the second session, we'll explore how to create a grief shrine, as well as a ceremony, ritual, or memorial you can practice, alone or with others. These are powerful, symbolic acts that can help you create nurturing times and places for grief, so you don't have to be interrupted when you need sacred space or get so overwhelmed on the journey. We'll go through examples and map out what these can look like for you. In both sessions, we'll get into helpful definitions for making sense of grief and understanding how it connects to our spiritual lives. Again, all of this will be helpful no matter what form your grief takes, and will be helpful as you support people you love. Your grief journey is a sacred journey, and I'm honored and so grateful to get to accompany you. I hope this class can be a guide for your grief journey, so that you feel better equipped to be a guide for yourself, and to be there for others you meet along the way. Together, we can create a shelter for you, for all of us, and for peace on the grief journey.